I'm Amy, and I'm going to show you the easiest way to bring all your data into one place using this AI data analytics tool to answer your most pressing business questions. As you can see, I already connected to BigQuery, which is letting me track a whole bunch of metrics, including, for example, website visitors, which we're getting from Google Analytics, and product-specific metrics like submitted prompt, signups, and so forth. I now want to also connect to my Google Drive, where I have a spreadsheet where I'm tracking social media metrics. And so I'm just going to connect that. It works really simply. You just click on it, and then you go in here and authenticate. And I love the confetti. I'm going to select the file that I want to use, which I know here it is right there, social media reach select. So as you can see, it brought in all my data. It got my Google Sheet from my Google Drive integration. And this is fictitious data, but it's using real integrations here. And so there's two ways to go about this. I can either just pick the data sets that I want the AI to analyze. In this case, I want it to look at social media reach and signups. And then I could just create a project down here with those data sources selected. But sometimes you have data across multiple folders and sheets, and you maybe don't exactly even know which data point to look at, but you have a question you want to ask. So I want to see if the AI can handle it in a more abstract way. So I'm going to go to the home page, and I'm going to ask it a question straight from here. You'll see that it says I have 10 items in my library. So the AI can see the sources that I have, Google Drive, BigQuery, and it's letting me ask a question straight from the home page, looking at all of my data. So this is extremely useful when you have data in multiple places. We all know data is scattered, and you're trying to answer questions that rely on multiple data sources. In the past, you would have to bring them into a spreadsheet, join them, and it's quite the task. And this AI data analytics tool, Querri in this case, is making it really easy to bring all that data into one place where I can ask those questions. So I want to now know, I want to see the correlation between my social media reach and signups. Okay, so I'm asking this question. So the AI is now looking at my question. Can you show me the correlation between signups and social media reach for the last 3 weeks? It understands its assignment and it's thinking. So it automatically created a new project for me, which I can go later and rename. And here's the reasoning. It's thinking through, okay, so which data sources do I need? And, you know, for people who understand data processes is a really great way to understand the logic. What I love about Querri is that it's not a black box. You can understand the reasoning and follow along. And it's not saying, it says here, for example, examining column details for 10 potential data sets. And I can see, for example, it is pulling in now data from not only two different sources, not only two different data tables, but that I pulled in from two different sources, which I think is pretty awesome. And it correctly picked the ones that I wanted it to pick, which is social media reach and signups. I didn't tell it though which data to look at and figure that out on its own. It's giving me the goal analysis, required deliverables, data assessment, and so forth and so on. I'm not going to go into every detail here. So it correctly saw that my social media dates didn't actually have a date on it for every single day, but instead it had the week of. So it's trying to work through that problem where I've asked it to do a correlation, and I know that my signups are tracked each day, but my my social media is just tracked by week. So it's trying to work through that problem. So I see it struggled with this one right here, but it's explaining that I didn't have all of the November data. So I don't have the same amount of data for my social media as I do for signups. So I love that the AI is thinking along and problem solving with me. And we're not looking for perfection in this case. I just want to know correlation, right? I want to see how many people signed up, how many people came to our website, what is the correlation there? Obviously, every business has different questions, and you understand your data the best. So AI is amazing, but it's good to understand what you're trying to accomplish. But I love that the AI is thinking along and is helping me solve this problem. So I love that after all that thinking and problem solving, it says I've identified the overlapping weeks. I'll now rejoin the data using the last 3 weeks that exist in both data sets and create the correlation analysis with visualization. So I had imperfect data, right? One was my signups is a daily list, and then my social media is by week, and there were some weeks missing. So I gave it a pretty challenging task, but it figured it out. It took a bit. It kind of reasoned through it all, and it's giving me what I'm looking for. Okay, so it's giving me goal deliverables and telling me what it could do, what it couldn't do, which I absolutely love. And I want a visualization for this right now. I'm going to ask it for that. Oh. I was about to ask it for a visualization, but I think it's just going to do it all by itself. So in this case, it decided to just narrow it down to 3 weeks of all my data, and it aggregated it and gave me just 3 metrics. So that's of course not extremely exciting visualization right here, but it is showing a very strong correlation obviously between weekly signups and social media reach. And obviously the more data I give it, the better the output will be. It was not a very large data set that I gave it for my social media reach, but it is giving me an answer, it's giving me some of the numbers, and it's giving me all kinds of follow-up questions that I could attempt. So my challenge is to you, go find that data that you're trying to analyze, especially if it's in multiple places, and connect it inside of Querri and start asking questions and dig deeper into your business data.